I'm Jennifer Klein, and I have the honor of serving as the director of the White House Gender Policy Council. As we commemorate the 25th anniversary of the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, we reflect on the progress we have made and the work that remains to prevent and end gender-based violence once and for all. Working to end gender-based violence has been a cornerstone of President Biden's career. As a U.S. Senator, President Biden wrote and championed the Violence Against Women Act, legislation that fundamentally transformed our nation's response to violence against women and girls. In the 3 decades since, he has worked across the aisle and alongside courageous survivors to strengthen the law 4 times. As president, he secured record funding for domestic violence and sexual assault services and support, advanced bipartisan reforms to the military's investigation and prosecution of sexual assault and sexual harassment, and directed his administration to address online harassment and abuse. The administration also issued the first ever U.S. national plan to end gender-based violence, which laid out a comprehensive government-wide approach to preventing and addressing gender-based violence across America. Globally, the Biden-Harris administration has invested a record $250 million per year to support programs to address gender-based violence, and updated our U.S. strategy to prevent and respond to gender-based violence globally, which guides our efforts to combat all forms of gender-based violence in communities around the world. We launched the Global Partnership for Action on Gender-Based Online Harassment and Abuse, which has grown to 15 countries, to advance online safety and prevent and respond to technology-facilitated gender-based violence. And under President Biden and Vice President Harris's leadership, we've taken historic steps to strengthen justice and accountability for conflict-related sexual violence. In 2022, President Biden issued a presidential memorandum directing federal agencies to promote accountability for sexual violence in conflict. Since then, the United States has imposed nearly 24 sanctions against perpetrators of this crime. And earlier this year, we announced the Dignity and Documentation Initiative, which supports civil society-led efforts to investigate and document sexual violence in conflict. This is just some of the work that the Biden-Harris administration has done to address gender-based violence wherever and whenever it occurs. As we reflect on the tremendous progress since the first International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women a quarter century ago, we also know there's much more work to do, and we recommit ourselves to the work ahead. Ending gender-based violence will take all of us, but together we can and will achieve a world in which all women and girls can live free from fear, free from violence, and free from abuse.